Sunday Morning Matters on KC24, your local election headquarters.
What some are calling a brewing case of class warfare is playing out between the mayor and members of the Fresno City Council from North, South, and Central Fresno. That's what we have on our hands with Fresno City Council members in a bitter feud over the gas tax dollars. And on Monday, outgoing councilman Steve Brandau said this, speaking to the media, quote, "Is it right for us to make the citizens of North Fresno pay for the sins of the past?" You know, it kind of reminds me of the whole reparations argument. That comment sparked outrage among African-American leaders in Fresno, some addressing Brandau in council chambers on Thursday.
You're comparing that proposal to the government paying for reparations to African Americans for slavery is an insult. It is an insult.
I'm here to say that you have shown one thing, is that you represent what a racist is.
Well, we've been hearing a lot from the city council members. You heard from the mayor, so I thought I'd bring in our problem-solving caucus today. And here you go. Our panel this week, well, how about we start right over there. A jack of all trades, but mostly KMJ's political host, Philip Teresi, our political commentator right here for KC24 and Sunday Morning Matters, and the former superintendent of Fresno County Schools, Larry Powell, and former Fresno City Council member for District 3, Oliver Baines. Gentlemen, welcome. And Oliver, I'll start with you. You're a former Fresno City Council member, as I started. First, your initial reaction when you heard Steve Brandau make those comments.
Well, I was stunned. I know Steve very well, obviously, so I was shocked. I called Steve and I did ask him, you know, what his thought process was behind those statements. Obviously, they were out of place, probably not well thought out. I think Steve knows that now. I've had some conversations with him. He probably wishes he would have characterized that differently. You
know, some members there of the African-American community saying he's a racist. What would you say to that?
I know Steve, so I know he's not a racist, so I can say that. I know him. I think that he made a statement that he should not have made. He did not think it through. It was out of place, out of line, and inappropriate, to be sure. To call him racist probably is a step too far, but I think he knows that he made a mistake with that. I think if he had to do all over again, he probably would have chosen different words.
You know, this has been a hot button issue all week long. Philip, I know over on KMJ you guys have been talking about it on the Chris Daniels show. So obviously you heard from a lot of callers as well. When the press conferences went back to back, you know, I think most of us were saying, wow, this is a great political theater playing out with, you know, what's supposed to be is nonpartisan city council members. Politics, or is this simply trying to fix the problem in certain areas before others?
No, I really think this is pure politics. Mayor Brand has a very sensible plan. It worked fine last year and it'll work fine this year. There is something to be said for an equitable distribution of these funds. But if you go drive down Copper Avenue, which is about as north as you can get in Fresno, it's like driving on the surface of the moon. So to say we need to take all of this money and set it off to everything south of Shaw doesn't have anything to do with the reality of the needs of the city of Fresno. And I think it's really unfortunate that this turned into a political fight when it should have just been a win for the city.
Larry, I know you've been very involved in the Parks project, right?
Sure.
And so that's one of those things that, you know, you're trying to revitalize Fresno. And this kind of falls into that category. Unfortunately, there's no specific funding for parks necessary. This is a gas tax fund, and as Philip mentioned, hey, we all pay the same gas tax in the state of California. We're allotted $12 million, but do the folks in South and Central Fresno have a point? Because one can argue it's been neglected over decades.
Well, I have a little different point of view on it, and it's this. I don't drive just where I live. I drive throughout the city. I visit the Southwest, the Southeast, the South, and we go all over the place. So I don't like potholes anywhere in the city. So let's look for those that need the most repair, and let's help take care of those as best we possibly can with a limited budget. I also have a word of advice from my good friend Steve, and it's what I taught my kids, is guard your words. A word once spoken cannot be retrieved, and even though forgiven is not easily forgotten. And so make sure you guard what you say, and the Bible has something to say about it too. It says it's harder to control your tongue than to conquer a city. So we got to be careful when we're doing these kinds of things and talk only what builds up and encourages folks.
And you have a good point there. So do you think, with that being said, do you think that would come back to haunt him as he takes his new role in the Board of Supervisors?
Well, I think he's built up credibility with some things that he's done up to now, and so you can make mistakes. That's what we all make in life. We make mistakes. It's what you do from here, and how do you handle the mistakes that you made? Do you find ways to build coalitions out of mistakes instead of separation? If you do, I don't think it'll make a big deal of difference.
Oliver, obviously, you know, I don't know if you had quite this kind of battle during your time in Fresno City Council, because this is an uproar, and the mayor has his hands full here because they have got to get this thing done before May 1st. I know it's going to get done because you're going to lose $12 million if you don't, and he's going to veto whatever he has to veto if possible. He said that. But really, what's the solution here? If everybody's bickering over the piece of the pie, what's the solution?
Well, you know, sadly, this, from my perspective, this is not that complicated, unfortunately. And I do agree to some extent that the issue's been politicized, but the council and the mayor need to come together and understand that this money needs to be used and it needs to be prioritized appropriately. So there are communities in the city of Fresno, throughout the entire city, by the way, that have been neglected for many, many years, up to decades, with proper street maintenance and repair. Those neighborhoods should have some priority. It should not be based off of it. And I'll be honest with you, I called and spoke to council members that were a part of that initial press conference. It's my understanding that it is not intended to segregate dollars and say you cannot spend dollars north of Shaw. To my understanding, if I'm wrong, you know, I'll be called out on that, because I asked that specific question. Is this measure meant to be to segregate North and South Fresno? They said no, it is meant to prioritize neighborhoods, which is an appropriate thing to do.
Philip, I'm going to ask you to do something that's probably the most difficult thing you've ever done in your life.
I combed my hair. Why?
Yeah, you did. I want you to play mayor for me. What do you do here?
I think that if I'm handed the scepter for the day, I'm sitting down, I'm meeting with all the council members, and I'm asking them to present an argument. Show me video, show me complaints, show me the data from the Fresgo app, and we can talk about massaging some of these funds around. But I'm not going to take all of the money away from north of Shaw. I'm not going to take all of the money away from Woodward Park and send it all to one side of town, because like Larry said, none of us are just driving in our neighborhoods. We're all driving all over Fresno, and it doesn't make sense to cut off our nose to spite our face with $12 million.
Larry, you have 30 seconds to punctuate this whole thing. If you were to play mayor.
Well, everybody gets a say, but not everybody gets their way, and that's what democracy is all about.
Right.
So let's talk it through. Let's come up with something that's reasonable for a very small amount of money, given the huge nature of what is needed. You're looking at hundreds of millions of dollars needed, and we're making an issue over $12 million. So we probably need to confine that a little bit and work something out. I think we can do that. I think at the end of the day, council and mayor will get together and Fresno will benefit.
All right, guys, guess what? That's just round one.
Sounds good.
Round two is coming up a little bit later. Hang tight, but up